Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And as you can see, still Christmas festive spirit at the moment. Big Boxing Day out to you all. I'm back online just quickly, just to basically give a quick catch up on what's been going on, and also say thank you to everybody. You've been ever so nice as well, sending us Christmas greetings to myself and to Jane. And also, it's not stopping yet. We've got another full Christmas dinner to look forward to, this time cooked by Jane and by her mum, as more of Jane's family are coming round for Boxing Day today. And so that's the reason I'm doing this broadcast quickly and quietly in the room, out the way, because they're all busy downstairs doing loads at the moment. So anyway, just quickly, I didn't get any concise weather forecast from Amanda today. I've given her a day off. Basically, I could see them enjoying themselves in Macarado yesterday, having a bit of Greek dancing going on. But anyway. Just to let you know that the weather for Sunday in Zakynthos at the moment, a bit similar to here really, mostly cloudy, chance of rain tonight, temperature about 17 degrees Celsius. And as for Leek at the moment, it's going to be cloudy with rain throughout the day, temperature 5 to 4 degrees, but it's going to feel like 2. So yeah, again, cozy weather for staying in, not for going out, but trust me, people are still going out and about, enjoying their Boxing Day Christmas spirit. Right, let's have a just quick catch up on the COVID stats for Greece while I've been off air over the Christmas day. At the moment, there's been 6,590 new infections on Christmas Day, and there was 6,667 infections on Christmas Eve. So the infection rate has dropped just slightly a little. 11 new cases were identified after checks into the country. That was up on the day before. At the moment, according to the stats I've been looking at in Greece at the moment, there has only been 44 cases of Omicron. That was up on the 33 from a previous report. And they've been located in Attica, Laconia, and there was 18 in Crete, Thessaloniki and Soritos as well. Now there's also 154 cases that are being investigated at the moment as well. When it comes to infections on the islands, again, the infection rates have been a bit up and down really. Lefkada at the moment, they had 14 on Christmas Eve, and then yesterday only 7 cases have been found there. That island is in the green. As for Corfu, they had 100 on Christmas Eve. Yesterday, Christmas Day, 85 new cases were detected on that island. As for Kefalonia, they had 2 cases detected on Christmas Eve and nothing for Christmas Day, which is good. As for Zakynthos, we had 8 new cases detected on Christmas Eve, and as for Christmas Day, 6 new cases have been reported. Just to remind you that Zakynthos at the moment is still in amber, Kefalonia are in yellow, Corfu are in dark red, and Lefkada are in green on the Greek traffic light system. When it comes to deaths at the moment, unfortunately, deaths have actually dropped over the last couple of days. We had 94 deaths in Greece on Christmas Eve. That number dropped to 58 new deaths on Christmas Day. That brings the total now to 20,350 people who have passed since the pandemic started from coronavirus. Can we just say our condolences to those families affected? 95% of those had underlying diseases or were over the age of 70 or they were older. And once again, no deaths have been linked to the Omicron variant in Greece whatsoever. But can we again just send our serious condolences to families losing loved ones, especially on Christmas Day, which again, for many people, will change the meaning of Christmas for them. When it comes to cases in ICUs at the moment, good news. The numbers there have dropped, and quite considerably. Christmas Eve, I reported 655 cases in ICUs across Greece. and the number has now dropped to 617. Of that 617, 370 are male, 247 are female. Regarding critical cases and their vaccination status, 518 of them are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, and 99 of them were fully vaccinated. So that's the stats at the moment for Greece. A quick snapshot at the moment of what's happening in the UK while we're here. It seems door-to-door teams armed with COVID jabs will be sent out to homes of the unvaccinated in the UK. This is what's being considered by ministers at the moment here. It's estimated that 5 million people haven't yet been inoculated. Now, their reason for going door-to-door is because they say in certain rural areas it's been difficult for people to go to vaccination centres because they can't get to them. So this is another plan that the British government is now thinking about putting into effect. You've got to remember that tomorrow Boris is having another emergency meeting where he's going to be discussing what's going to happen in regards probably to New Year's Eve in England. We already know what they're doing in Scotland and Ireland and also in Wales, but we don't know what's going to be happening here in England. Anyway, it seems MPs and hospitality bosses have warned Boris, all right, not to bring in any new restrictions before New Year's Eve, or they'll be a risk to devastating businesses. Now, interestingly, one MP who's not been named, who's a backbencher, he's already said if it turns out that the cabinet ministers last week just delayed more business crushing liberal restrictions till after Christmas, then not one of them deserves my vote in a future leadership election. So again, Boris is going to have to tread very carefully if he wants to keep people on his side, or otherwise I think he might be out. Now, interestingly, this is another little story that has not been widely distributed because it's all been about look over there while that's going on over here. The British government forced the sacking of tens of thousands of staff from care homes by making vaccinations mandatory. Having created this shortage of care workers, all right, they've decided to fill the vacant posts by relaxing the rules for visas and inviting foreigners to come to Britain and take these jobs. Anyway, the same will be done for the NHS in April when vaccinations become mandatory for people in the NHS working there. Now, the net result, according to critics at the moment, this means that it could see the arrival of 250,000 immigrants over the next year or so. Anyway, Priti Patel and Sajid Javid together pushed this immigration relaxation through on, believe it or not, Christmas Eve, so that it probably wouldn't get reported at all because there's no papers on Christmas Day. At the moment, there's around about 90,000 vacancies currently in the NHS, and that is likely to rise to even more. So again, social care workers, care assistants, home workers, care workers become eligible for a health care visa for a 12-month period. And the government said it would make it easier to fill the gaps in the workplaces and force the crisis because they've actually fired all these people. So again, just because you fire them all, you've got to find people to do these jobs. I can't see that happening in Greece somehow because I don't think those jobs in Greece pay a lot of money in comparison to where those people want to come from. But again, it's interesting that that was quietly pushed through on Christmas Eve with no one looking. Anyway, just a quick confirmation of the official Omicron cases at the moment here in Greece. At the moment to date, it was about 90,906 people with Omicron. The number of people in hospital in the UK with the Omicron variant at the moment was around about 132. NHS figures showed that 2/3 of new COVID patients in England were actually admitted for different reasons, not exactly to do with the Omicron, but they had it when they were tested on admission. And at the moment in the UK, from the figures I've found at the moment, only 14 deaths have been attributed in the UK to the Omicron. But again, no detail on those people. Right, as for Greece at the moment, As we're all aware, the new mandatory measures for coronavirus came into force on Christmas Eve in Zakynthos, which will remain in force until the first days of the new year, till about the 2nd. Anyway, and depending on the developments of the pandemic and the cases, the lockdown will be visible and will be applied extensively. Now, the measures were decided by the Greek government based on the decision of the Committee of Coronavirus Specialists and will last until January the 2nd. Masks will be mandatory in all areas, and in supermarkets you have to wear a double mask. With these developments, it is in fact that the market situation will worsen, but the situation is suffocating with the disease and there is no room for relaxation of other decisions. Anyway, the assessment that we have a difficult winter ahead of us was expressed yesterday by the professor of preventative medicine, Kalanis Toutnas, as said that he was speaking in the first program. It was very likely that we will need a 4th dose of corona vaccine 3 months after the 3rd dose. It's the most likely scenario. It has started to be implemented in Israel, but it is something that is being investigated. So already Greece is starting to talk about their 4th dose and they haven't yet administered their 3rd dose. So it looks like vaccination all the way at the moment. We see that the immunity at the moment with the 3rd dose is very satisfactory, especially against Omicron. That's what the Greeks are saying. But at the same time, we see that vaccines have a duration and their effectiveness drops significantly after 3 months, he explained. He estimated that soon there will be vaccines whose effectiveness will be no longer, and so we will not need to be vaccinated every 3 months, but we may need to be vaccinated once a year, as in the case of the flu. Well, we've said this all along. We should have looked at Omicron as a step forward and not a step back. The reason for this is because the virus is mutating all the time, so therefore it's finding other ways for it to survive, and the virus doesn't want to die. But what it's doing, it's becoming milder, not as effective in killing you, but yes, it is more effective in being spread. I still think there is a need for a mix of herd immunity as well as vaccine for those people that are vulnerable. But to mandatorily vaccinate all the time, I think is not the way ahead, because again, it's vaccination after vaccination after vaccination. The vaccine has already started to decrease its effectiveness in the actual outcome of it. And at the second time, all right, it's more effective. So again, people are catching it, not realizing they've even got it, ill for a few days, get better, and on they go. Again, a few people, they might not be so lucky. But again, the Omicron variant is definitely at the moment less deadlier than what the Delta variant was at the beginning of the crisis. So again, mixed messages coming through there from Greece. They're already pushing for the 4th jab before they've even done the 3rd jab. Anyway, also interestingly as well, it's also been said in the Greek press at the moment that important changes is in the way of the control of vaccine disease certificates are brought by the introduction of digital identities in the COVID-free wallet, as they're calling it over there, with an amendment of the Ministry of Digital Government submitting to Parliament the digitalisation of the police ID and its integration in the COVID-free application launch as well, or the free app that's been launched there as well. So in some ways, again, a kind of a vaccine passport is still being talked about in Greece. Greece has already now started to get more up to date with its identity card scheme. You have a blue card. That means you're a citizen of Greece. And with that blue card, that is what you use to check your identity. And again, now with the expatriate people as well from ourselves who are not part of the EU but are resident Greeks, we have now a proper digitalized card with all our biometric details on. And so again, that is now raised its importance now, because that could be another way of tracking our health. However, I still beg to differ why, when I was testing in the summer, all my results from my tests didn't go on any health card. They went on my income tax return. But that's just another point for another day. Anyway, interestingly, as you know, a new mask that can be worn with the new restrictions, the KN95. This is causing some interest and some stirs at the moment in Greece, because cases have been reported of people hiking the prices of the KN95 masks. Now, these masks actually are a lot more comfortable. They have a second filter system inside them. They're obviously a bit more expensive than the paper masks, but already people who are supplying these, shops and wholesalers, are hiking the prices, because if you don't wear one of these masks and you're not wearing two of the original paper masks, you're looking at a €150 fine for being out in the street without one on. So again, people are taking advantage. Now, interestingly, the Development and Investment Minister, Antonis Giadardis, was speaking on Greek Sky TV, and he said that they're going to be starting to do detailed inspections of businesses and also wholesalers and suppliers of these masks. And if they find out that they've been hiking the prices, they could be getting fines of up to €1 million. Yep, that's €1 million for putting up the price of your masks. Anyway, Giadardis said that the government has passed a law preventing, until June the 30th, 2022, profit margins such as food, masks, gloves and antibacterial ointments from being raised more than 20% above their February and 2020 levels before the outbreak of the pandemic. So not only are they talking about masks, but they're talking about antibacterial swabs and swipes, gloves, etc. And also, interestingly, food as well is in there, because at the moment, a lot of people are saying the price of food in Greece is going up quite considerably at the moment. And again, people are asking questions why. So the government is getting in and basically saying, if people are hiking the price of food, then obviously we could fine you there again. Up to €1 million. Interestingly, yesterday, the Cyprus Ministry of Health announced that due to the rapid increase of the Omicron cases in their country, in the United Kingdom, all passengers from the UK going into Cyprus now over the age of 12, regardless of vaccination status or previous illness, are now required to remain in self-isolation at their place of residence until PCR test results are issued and confirmed negative. So as quickly as your laboratory can test you will mean how quickly you get out. I know we have listeners over in Greece. Big shout out to them. So just be aware now, if you've got people coming over from the UK, they're going to have to go into some form of self-isolation until PCR tests are carried out over there. Now, upon arrival from the UK into Cyprus, they'll receive a package containing 5 self-test kits, which they must use, and they must test negative. They must do a negative test at the airport. They must conduct a self-test then every day upon arrival, except on the 3rd day. In the case of a positive result, they must contact a doctor in Cyprus to refer them for a free PCR test at their local public health clinic to then confirm what is whether they've technically really got it and it's not a false positive. All right. But what they do after that, that's not been made clear. Maybe you're going to end up getting sent somewhere until you are deemed safe to come out and be with the public again. But anyway, that'll ruin your holiday for a start if you're going over to visit. Also, interestingly as well, there was a nice little article in the Zakynthos press yesterday about the loyalty of the British tourist, to the Ionian. It seems British tourists who managed to travel for a short time this year but they're preparing to compensate their favourable destinations on the next tourist season. So things are going up. People have come to the Ionian, come to Zakynthos, come to Corfu, come to Kefalonia, and next year they're wanting to go back on another holiday. Anyway, airlines and tour operators announced new seats already, which they've increased to Corfu, they've increased them to Kefalonia, and obviously to Zakynthos. The statistics at the moment, according to the press article I was reading, are revealing and show that despite the few months that British tourists have been able to travel abroad, they have not forgotten these three islands. Anyway, the 2021 season started, they started coming just after mid-July, with their last arrivals ending in October. In a total arrivals, according to figures from the three international airports on Kefalonia and etc., Corfu and Zakynthos, around 320,000 Britons came, while in 2019 it was estimated that there had been over 1 million people had come to the Ionian. Now, of that 177,000 tourists from Britain, they visited Corfu last year, compared to more than 500,000 in 2019. 86,000 Britons went to Zakynthos last summer, instead of around about 360,000, while in 2000, which happened in 2019, while 56,000 visited Kefalonia this year, instead of the 200,000 that visited in 2019. Now, a few days ago, Jet2 and Jet2 Holidays, they announced that they have added additional seats for the summer of 2022 for Greece from Newcastle and Bristol. The increase comes in response to a strong demand from the airline and tour operator customers. More specifically, additional itineraries to Kefalonia from Newcastle from July the 26th to August the 30th. In 2022, and new itineraries to Zakynthos from July 27th and August 30th in 2022 will be added as well. And also they're talking about new routes to Corfu, which will be added from July the 25th to August the 29th. 2022. New routes to Kefalonia will also be added from Bristol Airport and from May 26th to the 22nd of September. And the CEO of the two companies, Steve Heppy, said in his statement he confirmed the high demand for 2022, stressing that customers have missed their vacation in the last 2 years and most want to book in advance and give themselves something to look forward to. However, we will wait and see that happens at the moment, because again, it is all doom and gloom at the moment about certain things that are going on. But until we actually get actual confirmation and you see the people coming, and the British government and the Greek governments make it easy for people to travel, because trust me, at the moment, if anything, just traveling is so fraught with awkwardness at the moment, and filling in paperwork, getting tested, and extra expense as well of the testing regime. It is not easy. And a lot of people will just say, do you know what? I can't be bothered with it. I really can't be. And we'll wait and see if travel will be as easy as the summer approaches. But anyway, we've still got to get through this winter first and see what's going to happen for New Year's Eve as well. Anyway, and finally, people have been asking about the monk that's gone missing. Bless him. Unfortunately, 5 days of searching has been going on. I've got a bit of a strange story on that front, really, because they said that they actually found the boat which the Greek monk had been gone out fishing. You might remember the story. He'd gone out on the Monday. They didn't report him until the Wednesday, and they were still out searching on Friday, on Christmas Eve. It seemed that the port authorities did find a fishing boat, and they towed it into the port of Delphi. The port authorities of Lesros and Mount Ithros and Sathos and Skopolis were all informed about the incident right the way along that coast. But at the moment, they've not said if anything was found in that boat at all. But the boat was found, but not the fisherman. So again, it's a mystery as to where he's disappeared to. Hopefully, he might turn up. I don't know, but anyway, they're not saying anything of what their expectations are. Just that they found the boat. They never said if anything was in the boat or if he was in the boat, and that boat was then towed into the port of Daphne. So anyway, that's it for the news. Can I just say a quick shout out to those people that are tuning in? Nice to see you looking in, Bernard. Also, John Clifford as well. Doppia John, nice to have you looking in as well, buddy. Rainer Pete Dillon also tuning in as well. Nice to see you. Steve Thompson as well. Nice to have you looking in. Derek and Bridget Cole over there in Cyprus. Nice to have you looking in as well. What's the weather like where you are at the moment? Because here it's not very nice, and Zakynthos, the weather's been a bit up and down as well there as well. Ray Humphreys is also tuning in. Paul Fleming as well. Ken Grant is also tuning in. Baz Hayworth is also tuning in as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'll keep my ear to the ground. You have a happy Boxing Day. Once again, Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you have a good day. And we'll see what Boris has in plans for us as regards after Boxing Day. Hopefully nothing stupid, no lockdowns, no restrictions. Big shout out to my brother Simon and Yolanda. We hopefully will be down to see you on Tuesday, all being well. Can I also remind you as well that today is Sunday and it's the Northern Soul Show on today. I know yesterday Beats Radio was a bit like Ginge FM yesterday, but I quite enjoyed that, to be quite honest. So again, Northern Soul Show going out. Can I say a quick hello to Niz and the lovely other Jane Clues as well. We met up at the Mulberry a couple of nights ago. Niz is a big Northern Soul fan, so I look forward to you tuning in, fella. And also nice to meet Jane as well. That's Jane's sister-in-law, so it causes a bit of confusion at the moment. So, but anyway, nice to see you as well. So anyway, Northern Soul Show tonight, Beats Radio, kicking off at 5 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Greek time, and I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear of anything, I'll let you know. You say, ta-ra.